Hello and welcome to another episode of the BAMF Health Podcast. This is going to be a really special episode because we're going to talk a little bit about BAMF and a whole lot about technology, not just because of what BAMF is doing in terms of technology, but because we are about a month away, a little over a month away from Tech Week Grand Rapids 2026. So we're going to talk about all of that today. And joining me, I have BAMF's VP of Technology, Petrit Rudi, and I have the SVP of Business Development from the Right Place, Andria Romkema, sort of leading the charge with Tech Week 2026. So thanks both of you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So let's start with Tech Week. Tell us what we can expect from Tech Week Grand Rapids 2026, another big year.
Yes. So this is going to be our 5th year for Tech Week Grand Rapids. This is a celebration of tech and innovation in our community. If you haven't checked it out before, it's going to be on September 14th, the week of September 14th this year. We expect over 15,000 people. There are over 100 different events, and it's truly built by the community. So over 300 companies come out, they build their own events, create their own events, bring forward content, and it creates a really robust week with content for everyone. I mean, truly, I always tell people, if you're thinking, oh, Tech Week, I'm not technical, I'm not in the tech field, just know that Tech Week is truly for everybody. You can find content for HR professionals, healthcare professionals. All of our roles now have an element of technology to them. And this Tech Week allows us to learn more about it, learn new skills, meet new people, collaborate. It's a really open and accepting and welcoming environment. So I highly recommend. Oh, and it's best part, it's almost all free. So, yeah.
That's right.
So come and check it out. Yeah.
I mean, when you say 15,000 people in attendance, these events are heavily attended and quite a few of them sell out a lot of times.
Yes. So check the calendar. The calendar is filling out right now. You can go in there, techweekgr.com. Check out the 2026 calendar. Lots of filters. You can sort. You can find something that is of interest to you. Make sure you register. They do sell out. There's also, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, crowds, I don't like crowds either. There are also a lot of smaller events too. You can find workshops that might be 15, 20 people in them. You go learn a new skill, and it's almost all free. The community really comes together to provide these opportunities for everyone in the region. And increasingly, we're having people from all over the country and world who are coming to visit Tech Week Grand Rapids. And actually, we were just named, one of the leading cities on the rise in the country because of our tech industry, our fintech industry, financials, insurance. We are a growing community, and Tech Week highlights that.
That's awesome. So healthcare is a part of Tech Week as well. So at BAMF Health, we're all about using technology to make healthcare better, faster, more accessible, and more precise. And I think we can expect, besides even BAMF's event, which we'll get to, there's probably other opportunities for the healthcare industry in particular to learn more about enabling through technology, correct?
Absolutely. Yes. And as of today's recording, we already have 10 events that are around healthcare here in the region for Tech Week. So yes, if you are in this field, health sciences, healthcare, there are events for you here. This is one of the growing industries in the Grand Rapids region. It's a lot of long-term growth here. It's a very powerful driver for our economy here in the region. You think about this beautiful view that we have here. You can almost see up to the medical mile, and the expertise that we have on the medical mile, including BAMF Health, this has just been growing over the past several decades, over $2 billion in investment up on the medical mile the last couple of decades. And we're able to attract, world-leading researchers. It's all happening right here in Grand Rapids. Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's get into technology at BAMF Health. We are on that medical mile. We are part of those companies who are using technology to enable patient access and to make healthcare better. So before we get into our event for Tech Week. We will get into it. I promise you, we'll give you a sneak peek. Let's talk more broadly about how BAMF is leveraging technology, not only sort of on a granular level, but even healthcare in general, how technology is enabling better, faster, more precise.
Absolutely. And I was just going to add something to Andria because it is incredible to watch the medical mile. We have, yes, companies like BAMF. You have Van Andel, you have Corewell, you have MSU. There's so much more on the east side. There is an entire ecosystem, I feel like, of incredible researchers and technologists that are pushing and not just to become more efficient, but how do we advance science? And it's not just one, it's the entire ecosystem. To me, that creates an amazing energy and synergy. When I think of healthcare broadly, and also BAMF's role in it, healthcare does not have a shortage of data. Healthcare really has a shortage of connected information. We have so much information that is separated across multiple different parts and pieces. And a lot of different medical professionals need that information to do their job and do it well. And with the advancement of the AI technology in the last just a few years and how fast it's developing and it's growing, we've moved away from demos and pilots. AI has gone from demos to practice. And what you would see in the past as something more in a conference, or here's a potential future, something very futuristic. It is very practical today. We've got AI across the country helping with clinical documentation, with recording, with transcribing. We've got all kinds of insights that are starting to surface as part of this movement with AI technology. And to me, what makes it exciting is that AI doesn't function necessarily just in a vacuum or in a black box. AI drafts, AI helps, it becomes an extension of you. We still want to leave the clinician, especially on the healthcare side, to be that final decision maker, that final judge, and the final reviewer. Otherwise, you open yourself to some other types of problems. And so this combination of AI technology advancing in healthcare mixed with that human-in-the-loop review makes it a really usable and amazing sort of movement in so many ways. Now, more breakthroughs in medicine create more complexity. You can't just hire your way through that, right? You could say, well, we just can add millions of more of team members or staff or professionals. That's when technology starts to really carry some of that weight. We want it to be safe. We want it to be in the right level of accountability, but we also want it to carry weight, right? To help a doctor, a nuclear medicine technologist, a research coordinator, nurse, a radiopharmacy coordinator, a pharmacist, right? You have all these different incredible healthcare professionals. So that's how I would describe it a little bit more. It's very exciting, but I feel like it's happening in a more safer way, I believe, something that the healthcare professionals and patients can trust. Because if we don't trust the technology, then it's just another cool piece of technology that's not really solving that problem.
And I guess the question to both of you is, this advancement in technology, be it AI, be it software, hardware, the solutions that are empowering healthcare and others, they're not just coming out of Silicon Valley over in California. It's happening here too, right? There are leaders in that space here in West Michigan.
Right. Yeah. I mean, one example, talking about how AI is able to transcribe your appointments with your doctor now, that was actually demoed in Tech Week a couple years ago. And now you see it when you're with your doctor. Yeah. And I think about that. Oh my gosh, it's AI, it's technology, but it's actually strengthening the human connection, because now I can have a conversation with my doctor where she's not looking at her screen, furiously typing up the notes. And you're like, oh gosh, are they really hearing me? You actually do feel more heard when you go to the doctor. So yeah, that's happening right here in Grand Rapids, in West Michigan. And of course, mentioned VAI and the research happening there. one of the things I always like to highlight on the healthcare side for us here in the region is not only are we doing the research and the development, but we can also manufacture and deliver it. I mean, if you think just back a couple years ago, when we had the pandemic, Grand Rapids was one of the regions in the country that was able to produce the COVID-19 vaccine. Like, we can still make things here in Grand Rapids. We're one of the world's leading manufacturing clusters here. So when we have that combination of research, development, and then manufacturing and delivery and distribution, it makes it really powerful for our economy. And yeah, that's happening right here in Grand Rapids. And you wouldn't know it necessarily when you're driving down and you're going past Medical Mile, all the innovations that are happening in those buildings, but it's really world class. Yeah.
It's incredible. And I was just going to add one more thing. When you look at it broadly, throughout North America and more, it's the AI-enabled technologies are not just something the software engineers, the AI engineers, the technologists are creating. We have support from the regulatory body. The FDA has now approved over 1,000 AI-enabled medical devices. So we're not only doing it in a safe way, we're trying to do it together in compliance with the regulatory body to really, really push and advance the breakthroughs in science and medicine. And it is true. It is happening in West Michigan, which is incredible. I love it.
Okay. So BAMF has an event as a part of Tech Week, September 15 in the morning. You are going to be one of the featured speakers at that event. This is the first time we've hosted our own event, so we're super excited, and even more excited because we're going to be debuting some technology and some resources we're using with our clinical trials, and specifically that we've never talked about, we've never gone public about, so it's a little bit of a reveal. Pretty exciting. We don't want to give everything away, but Petrit, give us an idea of some of the topics and things people can expect to hear about during our event.
Absolutely. Here's something that most people never see or hear about. Before a clinical trial ever treats a patient, there is an enormous amount of work that goes into that, right? You have the sponsor side, and then you have this whole trial planning, that you have these very highly intelligent, highly skilled clinicians, clinical trial coordinators, clinical trial research nurses that are spending anywhere between 3 to 6 months just trying to plan to see whether a clinical trial will be feasible.
Before it even starts.
Yep.
Before it even starts.
You've got all this complexity. We're talking about protocol documents. We're talking about labs, imaging, budgets, all kinds of...
How many pages?
I would say on a regular basis, we see anywhere between 700 and up. So 700 plus pages that a human has to process and take all of this, what I would call unstructured data, which is very important, highly regulated, has to be followed, and turn it into these operational information for different people within clinical trials. So really, in a way, the patient is waiting on paperwork, right? Which makes it really difficult to accelerate science and to push and be able to treat more patients. What BAMF has done and what we challenged ourselves is we build an AI technology that takes all of that and does it in a day. And not necessarily just because it's cool, because it's very needed in order to advance and push this. If you want to treat more patients, you don't just take and you summarize some documents. You really have to help different audiences. So why not give those tasks to a machine, to an AI? The way I see it is, let's say you have 1,000 tasks as a clinical trial nurse, and all those tasks are on you. Well, we have this incredible movement with AI. Why can't I divide and give a lot of those tasks to a machine, to AI to do, but then leave the really important ones that should stay with the human because of the safety and other reasons, leave that for the nurse. So then AI becomes really an extension of you. not necessarily locked in a black box making autonomous decisions, but it's actually working in a synergistic way together. So now you can take all of that, you can put it through this magical AI, and the output becomes very practical. Now, instead of being able to do 1 or 5 or 10 clinical trials, it's completely possible and doable to say we could do 50, 100, 200 clinical trials and do it fast and do it in an efficient way and give more patients a chance in the treatment options that exist out there. The patterns are the same, as I would say, as they should be across the industry, right? AI drafts. The clinician is the final judgment. The clinician is the final reviewer and the final say on all of this. And all of this is not necessarily just creating efficiency. I would say one of the main reasons we wanted to tackle this besides efficiency is you want to close the gap between scientific discovery and treating as many patients as possible. And the way you do that is through something like that. I'm not going to say any more. Come to the event. Otherwise, I'll give it all away. But we're super excited to share a lot more about that together with our clinical trial healthcare professionals.
This is really exciting because hearing you talk about this, I just keep thinking, I'm like, I don't want our greatest minds spending hours on 700 pages of paperwork, right? I want them thinking about the next breakthrough that's going to cure a condition, that's going to help us, like not deep down in the paperwork, like what can they do that's advancing our society? And I think that's something that is occasionally lost as we're talking about AI and technology. It's just the benefit side of it, how it will benefit in many ways us, everyday people through opportunities like you're talking about. I can't wait to hear more.
Yeah. I mean, the clinical trial process takes years, right? And part of that is this step, step that can take.
This is the trial planning.
Yeah, that can take 6 months to a year even. So every time you reduce the time, you get things to patients faster.
Absolutely.
And we know the stakes are high, especially with patients that we treat and that we see. People die waiting for access to a clinical trial. So BAMF has always been about speed and moving faster. And it makes sense that not only are we moving faster in terms of the standard care offerings that we have, but the clinical trial process as well. And it's been a long road trying to develop those tools.
Absolutely. When you look at precision medicine and theranostics as a whole, you need a lot of pieces to come together. You need a lot of information to connect for the right professionals. And what we've built here in Grand Rapids, the most advanced vertically integrated theranostic center that's pushing precision medicine forward, you need that pillar of a building. You need this infrastructure. Then you need the process to create a consistency. You want that consistency. And then you have this third pillar, which is the technology. And that oftentimes, I have a 12-year-old son, and oftentimes we talk about the body and the nervous system, and he's growing and he's curious. And when I look at organs like the heart or the lungs or the eyes or the muscles, they all have a very important part. But what really connects them and makes them all work together is the nervous system. That's technology. That's that important pillar that connects it and brings it all together. Again, in some areas to make it more efficient, but in other areas, ultimately, to treat as many patients as possible. Yes, to make healthcare affordable and accessible for all, but also give a lot more people a chance. And in the process, advance medicine and give clinicians more time with patients, like you said, and more quality time with some of these challenges as opposed to, getting completely lost into the administrative burden that is a reality today.
Do we hear a lot in Tech Week about tools and resources that are doing just that? They're reducing admin, they're reducing redundant, repetitive tasks, And there's this element too where you're talking about connecting systems, data from disparate systems. My guess is we hear a lot about that in Tech Week.
Yes, across different industries, right? We all are doing certain tasks in our work. We have been for decades that are just administrative, right? We have to do it. I think every industry has, their version of that 700-page, regulatory. There's something. So our industries are looking at, how do we use AI and other technologies to reduce that? And there are different tools that you can use right now that, like you said, that they make you more efficient for sure, but they also allow you to do more and better things with your time and use your expertise, right? So you're not necessarily stuck in that administrative portion of your job. That's actually what a lot of the workshops are around, is how to use those different tools. And we're taking the focus in Tech Week this year that we're taking it from the theory of what you can do with these different tools and the opportunities, and going down to, okay, what can I start doing tomorrow in my job, in my life? How can I start using these tools to create impact? So we're coming at it from a really practical lens because technology is coming at us rapidly. So we do need to, upskill and get used to using these tools to have it be impactful for our jobs. So that's where we're really driving this year in Tech Week, is what are those practical applications that we can use in our industries to help support and grow.
And honestly, within the world of healthcare, if you don't push towards that, if you don't operationalize some of these technologies where they become part of the workflow, then that's the big differentiation, I think, between those that are going to make a difference and those that still are staying in those places of demos and what if.
Yeah.
So I 100% agreed. It has to find a practical way to translate itself into something meaningful, which for me, I go to operations, right? It's like, I want to advance medicine. I want to make a difference. That means more information, more protocols, more complexity, more things for the doctors and the nurses to process. How can we empower people by operationalizing a lot more of this AI technology so we can all move forward together?
Yeah, it's interesting. Our founder, CEO, Dr. Anthony Chang, at the Mackinac Policy Conference this year, talked about this very thing too. We've been sitting and talking about the theoreticals of technology and how it can enable healthcare in different industries, and we've got to take action, and we've got to your point, show people here are the actual things we're doing, not in theory. And he had a great op-ed in the Detroit News where he talked about that too. Just this idea of, and this is exactly why we're doing our event, we're not going to sit here and talk to you about the theory of technology and healthcare and the things it could do. We're going to show you what it is doing and what we did build. And what else do we hope people then ultimately get from hearing that real story that isn't theory?
Absolutely. When you work with clinicians together, in our case with clinical trial professionals, when you combine technology professionals, clinicians, but you really coexist together, which is what we do at BAMF, right? It's not something that you just go and meet with each other. You start to, more than empathize, you start to feel each other's weight and the challenges. And then when you create these solutions, they are actually meaningful. They are something that a clinical trial professional can say, I trust this. I trust the process of this. Because they all had a hand in creating that, right? Same thing for the software engineer, the AI engineer, the DevOps, all the people within the technology field. You're not just looking to create a safe, secure, amazing technology. You're saying, I can feel the friction and the challenge of what they're going through, because now I've seen it over a period of 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and I can see what they have to do. There's something I can do here. There's somewhere or somehow that I can apply this. When you combine that, you've got a powerful synergy there that I feel like now 1 + 1 = 3, right? And together, you can go a lot further there. And then one thing starts to inspire another thing and starts to inspire another thing. And then you start to create this movement, which is very much needed in healthcare, but ultimately is really connecting the right information, providing the right tools for those professionals when they need it, how they need it, and then surfacing those insights, which healthcare is prime for so much of this. And of course, you have to do this in a safe way, but it's an incredible time we live in. It's full of challenges, full of opportunities, but also an amazing, tremendous amount of innovation that's happening across the nation, and especially in West Michigan, which I love. Right here in our backyard.
Did we inspire you to go to our event? I think we just did. Wow. Yes. That was fantastic. Well, we have a couple minutes left. So Andria, tell me a little bit more broadly Tech Week in general. What excites you about this year? What should people know about what's happening this year for Tech Week?
Yes. Well, one, I would encourage to, I haven't mentioned it yet, but if you are a student, whether college or high school, this event is definitely for you. Come out. You will be welcome. It's really open. It's not just career professionals who are out, especially if you're looking for your next role. Tech Week is excellent networking. We have business leaders like yourselves who are hosting events, putting on amazing content. Come out, take advantage of that. Meet with other companies in the region. Again, they're not just traditional tech companies. They're all sorts of different companies across a variety of industries, whether it's advanced manufacturing, healthcare. We do have some IT, but we have retail, service industries, the professional services industries. Everybody has that technical element. Another fun thing that's happening this year is that we're partnering with a lot of our wonderful local restaurants in the region. So they are going to have some special Tech Week drinks and menu items, so you can go and learn about the future of clinical trials and then go have a fun Tech Week drink afterwards. So we're really bringing together the entire community. So while most of the events are in the Grand Rapids area, there are events outside of the city too. So you may be able to find one closer to home around the region, depending on where you are. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to see everybody come out, and I'm excited to see what Grand Rapids businesses are doing as we push for innovation in this space. I'm really excited to see your event. As I think about technology and how it's going to impact our regional economy, the more, just the faster that this technology is advancing and AI is transforming the way we work and the way our industries operate, having, AI-enabled operations, it's just going to be table stakes at some point really soon. So from a competitive standpoint, as a region, we want to make sure that our companies have access to this technology and are implementing it. And we don't want to be left behind. And our workforce, we want our workforce to be able to be comfortable with these skills. So I would say definitely come out, check it out. There's a variety of events, all sorts of different times, locations. There's something for everybody at Tech Week.
That's great.
And what you and your team have built with Tech Week really speaks for itself. It's just fantastic, Andria. And I would just echo
Thank you.
all of that and say, if you want to continue to build technology and change medicine, you don't have to leave West Michigan.
No.
There's an ecosystem. There are incredible people here. Tech Week really opens up the door for a lot of that synergy to start to flourish. So take advantage of it and connect with technologists on all different sides. This is amazing. Super exciting.
Thank you.
And if you're a part of Tech Week, you might just get some really super cool swag. If you're watching, we have some really amazing sunglasses for Tech Week. We got some other swag items that are littering the table here. So definitely come be a part of it. What's the website?
techweekgr.com.
Techweekgr.com. Go through there, take a look at all of the events, find the BAMF Health event.
Yes.
We still have availability. There's limited seats for that event in particular, so make sure you register now to make sure you get a seat. Thank you, both of you, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you,
Thank
Kristen.
you.
Yeah,
It was great to talk with you both.
Tech Week. We are a little over a month away, but don't delay. Get on the website, sign up for your events, and get involved. All right. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.